welcome to the best netball podcast ever.
Seriously, Kris, they're getting worse. I'm just hitting delete now.
How are you?
You haven't done your bit. I'm Kris.
I know I was just going to change it around just a little bit and surprise you with it.
Change the rules. We've been doing this for 9 months.
Oh, but I like to try and sometimes just go my own way and see where the sun takes me.
It's the wind. The wind takes me.
That's the one. I always get my phrases wrong. Hi, I'm Kris. And I always seem to get my phrases wrong.
And I'm Carla. I feel like I've accidentally retired from netball.
Oh, do you want to elaborate?
I was just thinking about what I could say for this week, and it just, when I was like, we could do a normal netball sentence. And then I thought, actually, I haven't played in what feels like forever. I think I've just accidentally retired, it's been the lowest of the priority list of actually being on court, which is a sign of the times, isn't it? We're getting old.
But it's because it's not about your age. It's because you're doing so many other things that are taking priority, like chauffeuring your daughter everywhere.
This is very true. Yes, I am unquestionably taxi, coach, psychologist, counsellor, PT. Yeah, I hear you. Plus the podcast, plus my regional competitions chair's job, umpiring, club chair. Yeah, it's a lot. There is little time left to get on court and play.
You still have the odd game, though.
I do, yeah. Mainly when you're around, which is super fun.
But do you miss it?
On reflection, I think my summary would be, I put it as the lowest point on the list. So that makes me think I'm not that bothered, because if I was, I used to play 5 times a week. I mean, I would be playing netball all day, every day. I'm now living my best netball life through my 14-year-old daughter, who is getting better and better. I think the point at which she overtook my capability levels hit home. I think then I'm like, right, okay, you should definitely not hit your ceiling. So you crack on and I'll take the pleasure and the credit. And I love her.
She is so lovely and a bit feisty on court, I have to say. I played against her the other week and actually managed to outrun her once, which I've noted and documented so I can keep it forever.
Did you tie her legs together?
I think I was just I don't know, I think I must have got a second wind from somewhere. I think she was looking the other way.
Nip to the toilet.
Yeah.
I will say though, she had some very good news this week. Obviously we did our episode not long ago on trials, and it's been really helpful, talking about trials and understanding the world of the pathways. And she had some very good news yesterday. She had the results from her forest trials, that she was successful. And
my word.
Yeah, she'd already had great news from the Lightning Hub that she was successful there too. So, yes,
wow.
Very exciting.
What a little superstar. No, that's amazing news.
Worth noting to all the people that are out there trialing this summer, and so far who've obviously done the trials, congratulations if you've managed to get in. And remember what we said in the episode all about trials. If you didn't get in, build some resilience and come back, because it does not mean it's the end. It's just one option, one route. So keep going.
100%. Oh, I love that. That's brilliant.
How's your week been,
Mummy? It's been okay, actually. The weekend was eventful. I went to quite a large tournament, actually, in Nottingham. It was actually in West Bridgford. It's all the services were there. So it's I was basically an honorary firefighter for the day, which was really cool, obviously. We did really well out of, I can't remember now if it was 12 or 14 teams, but we came third. We had amazing. A cracking day. I got a little bit sunburnt, and considering it was people from different divisions who had never played together before, just came together as part of a firefighter team. Just such a fun day, so well run. And I think my favourite part was at the beginning, which I've never seen at a tournament before, where they had, how you gather everybody to do the announcement and how the day's going to work and go through the rules and everything. Well, they did a dance and you had to mirror what the person... So it was a bit like attending a Zumba class. Yeah. And everybody was doing it. And it was just, I don't know, it was just really good like intro into the day. And I thought, yeah, I'm taking that away with me for when we next do a tournament. It was
my first question
really
is
good.
how did you get in to be a firefighter when you were working HR?
It's who you know.
You just blagged it, basically.
Yeah, I blagged it and I wore red.
That sounds fun. I was also at a tournament this weekend. So our junior regional team for my club, Ashby Netball Club, shout out, were at the regional qualifying tournament, the under-16s. And this was the first time in our club's history that we have a team in the regional league for next year. So they were all very happy. A lot of hard work went into it, a lot of planning, and we're really excited for what that will bring next season.
Can I just also add, because I did forget to mention this, that I got recognised several times and it was really bizarre. And one young lady came up to me and she looked really flustered and she said, I feel like really like nervous talking to you. And it's like, I'm a real fan of your podcast. And I'm looking around thinking, nobody's here to witness this moment.
You should have got that on record, no question.
I know, well, I didn't have my phone with me because I was going to the toilet. But yeah, I had quite a few people come up and it's just so nice.
Yeah,
how many
brilliant.
Actually do listen to our podcast and sort of like, you know, you can see people looking sometimes and you just think, is that because of the podcast or are they looking at somebody else? You're never quite sure. And I do wonder if that's what celebrities feel like when they go into a supermarket.
I'm not sure you could quite put yourself in that camp, but fair enough.
Well, I can if I want to.
Maybe
we all
they were
have
thinking,
dreams, Carla.
Maybe they're thinking, who's that firefighter on court?
I'm sure she does HR normally.
What else has been going on? I feel like it's gone a bit quiet with no more Super League games.
Well, yeah, and this is actually sad fact. I've rewatched a couple of games because I'm missing it and I can't cope without any netball in my life. Like, it's too hard.
Yeah, I did manage to watch all the NSL games, but I have been going back to watch some of the SSN games that I missed at the time because there just was not enough hours in the day.
We've got Brighton coming up, 100 years of netball, so that's going to be incredible. Still don't really know what we're doing for the weekend, how it's quite going to work. I need to read the pack I've been sent. Have you got an idea?
We're just going to turn up. So this is the Centenary Masters Festival, which is a tournament for players, 3 different age brackets, over 35s, over 40s and over 50s. We're very happy to feel included, wanted, represented. We will be there on court. Yeah. And I'm really excited about our team as well with our friend Claire Talks Netball. We've got Jenny
team.
Rhodes from Nottingham Forest. Some of our club teammates that we've been playing with for the last, 15, 16 years. So it's going to be a really great weekend away.
It is, yeah. I can't wait for that, actually. And then not long after, we're off to Glasgow.
I know, yes, definite netball fix there. I've been really excitedly watching the releases of the teams. Wales netball team came out this morning. Don't know if you've had a chance to see that yet.
Not yet.
It looks fab. I think that's going to be great fun. We've got one of the games we're watching is Wales v Tonga. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, Scotland team is out. Obviously the Diamonds are out. Rosies are out. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Showcase of world-class netball.
I've just remembered I won an amazing prize on Sunday. I think I might have sent you a picture of it.
Yeah, you did.
But I won a gorgeous, I mean, it's like the most beautiful sweatshirt hoodie for England Roses. I'm so chuffed, but obviously it's going to be too warm, isn't it, when we go to watch them? But
we are in
Scotland.
Scotland.
Just take it anyway. Oh, that's very true. Yeah, we better get on with today's show. It's quite a jam-packed one.
Yes, we are busy today.
Our first guest today is the gorgeous Ali Tomlinson.
We are going to chat all things netball, media. I'm not really sure where this conversation will lead, but we're going to give it a go. Welcome to the best netball podcast ever, Ali Tomlinson. How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm good, thank you. It's a Monday morning and I've already been late for this, so it's already off to a bad start, but I'm sure it's going to get better now we're chatting.
Tell our listeners who you are, what you do, anything we should know about you.
So I'm Ali Tom. I'm Ali Tomlinson. My internet name is Ali Tom because at the time my name was taken, so I had to shorten it, and now it's kind of what I end up going by. Well, you guys don't need to know what my day job is, but by evening and weekend, I make women's sports content and try and encourage everybody to get out and get to a game or start following it and try and make it easier and more relatable to kind of be part of that process.
So you seem to become a bit of a face of netball, which is fantastic. How did that happen? How did you get involved with online netball content?
So about 3 years ago, I started going to sports as in general. So we came out of lockdown and I didn't have any friends. This sounds so silly, but I think as an adult, you don't realize how hard it is to make friends. And I'd moved down south. I'm originally from Grimsby. We got into a lockdown, then we came out. And obviously that year where I would have been meeting people at work and stuff like this, I didn't do. And all of a sudden I was like, oh God, I've got to make friends. How do I do that? So I started going to social netball I think a lot of people do this, just like, oh, I need something to do where I don't have to talk too much and I can organically meet a team, make friends through that. And netball was the only sport that I knew. And at the same time, I started going to women's football games as a social thing to do on the weekend. So I had two things that I was going on my own and doing on my own, but eventually was hoping it'd turn into I could talk to some people and make some friends. And I kind of started to film that process. It's so funny because you start off, and you guys may have probably felt the same, that you start off talking to no one. It's just you and your phone or like you and your podcast. And you're like, maybe one person will listen and maybe that's my best friend from home. But either way, I'm going to have a bit of fun and I'm going to do it. So I genuinely never thought that it would turn into something or anything, but I just started to be like, okay, right, this is me in my room and I'm about to go to netball for the first time and hopefully I'll make some friends. And it turns out that there's so many women who were doing the same thing and just kind of wanted somebody to relate to. And it's kind of been probably one of the most beautiful things in my life that I've kind of created and found this online community of women who are in a space where they've maybe been playing sport a little bit and now they realize that they can embrace it in like a spectator way that maybe they have never had the opportunity to before. And at the same time, the Netball 2.0 relaunch was happening. I was volunteering at a Keep Girls in Sport event at St. George's Park, which is really cool, which is where, if you're not familiar, where the Lionesses train before they go off to their big event, their big football tournaments. And there was a panel on different sports and Claire Nelson was on that panel. And I had been having conversations with people at my netball league about whether women's netball even had a super league. And I was so honest and I was like, I'm sure they do, but I have no idea how to find it. I'm sure it exists and I've seen people talking about it online, but I don't know where you find it. And I was really brave and I went over to Claire Nelson and said, like, my whole existence online is keeping girls in sport and then telling them to go out and watch it and be part of this movement. And at the same time, she was like, well, we're about to do something really big with the Netball Super League. And it kind of spiraled from there that I started to discover it more and more and more. And that was 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, and I guess it's been since then.
I love that. I guess your story will absolutely resonate with people as well, going into sport for the first time. And to be fair, very similar for me. I mean, I've been playing netball again for about 15 years. And very similar. I just had a baby. I didn't have any friends. I'd moved into a different area. And yeah, I can totally relate. And I'm sure there is so many other people. And equally, the ones that haven't experienced it yet or haven't found it yet, like this is your calling. This is the voice of us. Go and find the netball club.
It's so funny, isn't it? That as an adult, you find it's so weird to say, oh, I had no friends. But when you're younger, you're forced into these environments where you all naturally meet and you just bond. And then all of a sudden you reach your 20s and your 30s and them environments aren't there anymore. Everyone's going about their own lives and they have their own groups. And all of a sudden you have to kind of insert yourself and be like, oh, I need to be a part of something, because I think that human connection, especially amongst women, is so vital to our being. I think finding people who are able to just relate to you and be like you, and you don't have to say anything because you're close enough to just be like, oh, today's been a crap day. And go play netball. And you know that they'll be there for you. And I just think it's such a special thing that once you've got it back, which I think I'm sure you felt when you found it as well, you're like, oh God, I don't know how to survive without this.
Yeah. And some of the hardest times in my life, the only thing that I think has kept me sane and given me that release, that freedom, that hour and 2 off has been netball. So yeah, huge shout out. I think it's so good for mental health, so good for friendships. And I just love that message that netball now really is for life. Like, we've obviously got our walking netball program. We've got our juniors, our seniors, our performance, our participation, and everything in between. Through what you just discussed, we've seen this huge impact of social media and like getting that message out. What do you think has created the platform for netball and for sport generally online? Obviously, the whole point of it is to play, it's to be active, it's to be out there. Are both communities needed? What's the difference? Where do you think that came from?
I think that women in particular were kind of watchers and commenters. And I think that social media has created a space where we can do that. And again, like I said, find the community of people who are going to do it too. I think I saw an article once about bedroom culture and how a lot of girls are so much happier to kind of be in their safe space with their dressing gown on or their takeaway and they're like doing a face mask or whatever it may be whilst watching it, but then still having the same aggressive kind of like, no, you should have done that whistle. You know what I mean? Like, they're still so involved, but they also fully can happily do that from their bedroom in a different way that I don't think that men always have. And I think social media allows you to see what's happening right in front of you and immediately give your opinion on it. I encourage that. I do think if you're going to say something, remember, would you say it to their face a little bit before you do it? But I think that ability, because one thing, I love it when there's something happening, an umpire's made a call that you don't agree with, or there's been like a buzzer beat a goal or something like that. I love watching people immediately fire up and start talking about it. And I just think it's so cool to be able to have that immediate interaction. And I think that once you find a group of people, and I think that, like we were saying, everyone's, even if you're following the Super League, everybody's everywhere. And there's 8 teams scattered across the country. Admittedly, we need some more that are further north and we need some more that are further south. So we kind of hit that all in. But you're never going to be able to go to every game for your team. So to be able to have the ability on social media to get involved, even though you're 400 miles away, I think is such a wonderful thing to be able to do. And you don't have to have an age limit on that. You can do that wherever you are, as long as you have a phone or a laptop, which the majority of us do now. And I think it's enabled the sport to grow in a way that it couldn't before, because I don't think it's ridiculous to say that women's sport does not have the visibility that men's sport does. And social media and the internet has made it that you can share where things are being shown, when they're being shown, what the next stage is, what you need to look out for, any player history that you didn't know about. And you can create a picture for people who've been cut out of it before. We always say this, you can't be it if you can't see it, but it has been at times impossible to see. And now we've finally got this moment where, oh my God, with social media, we can see it. We can see it, we can find it, we can talk about it. And it's almost like we're catching up with all the years that we've missed. And I just think it's such a special thing. And I think without social media, I wonder whether women's sport would have grown over the past few years the way that it has.
Absolutely. I think it is just that timing, isn't it? And a clear gap in the market, like you said, where and how we want to consume sport and have that kind of physical connection, even if it's 400 miles away, like you said. You obviously created a podcast like us, longer than 3 seconds. What made you start to do that? Was that just the natural evolution of what you were doing online?
Yeah, I kind of just think it was a little bit of fun. So Rosie is my netball captain on Monday night. The season before, the 2025 season, I started to follow the Super League a lot more closely. And Rosie she's the knowledge, she's the brain. She's played netball her entire life, so she could see things that I couldn't see. And we would almost every week have a conversation about what happened in the week. And she'd almost sit and debrief me. And I was like, so this is happening because of this. And this is, and she'd be like, but they used to play for this team. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so much. And I felt like I was like learning on the job. And then as we were talking about it, she was like, I wish that there was a place where it was kind of on our level in that way that we could kind of cover it. And then I think it just kind of transgressed that. I was like, why don't we do it? When I tell you, it's such a hodgepodge way of putting together a podcast. So you guys, you are the tech experts. Like, I'm on this system now. This is good quality audio, well put together. You've got the system, you know what you're doing. It is me. We have a rocky table. We have a my phone on landscape mode with a microphone that if you hit it too hard, it disconnects. We've had so many times where we recorded with no sound, and I've been in Rosie's bad books for the entire week. Our mics are little fuzzy, so I need to replace them. We have a constant stream of Rosie's pets coming through. We greet them, we pause, we let them come past. But then we kind of had this mentality of, oh, it's just a bit of fun. I guess maybe you guys feel it as well. When we do it, we have such a bit of fun when we do it. And I think what's so beautiful about women's sports space, and particularly the netball space, is that there's so much room for everybody. Like, I love seeing you guys. And, you know, the first time I saw you, obviously I hear you more than I see you. I didn't even recognize you. And then it was when, like, you said, like, hi, and I was like, oh God, of course you are. And I think it's so lovely. There's so many different spaces, and people, I was talking to a young girl when we were at the final, and she was saying, like, I really want to get into this. Like, what do I do? And I was like, you just got to start talking about it. I think if you want to do it, you're the only one who can. You've just got to start putting something out there. And if you talk about what you love, people will come to you. And I think that's like you guys, you'll post something and you'll start a conversation. And if you don't put it out there, no one can talk about it. And I think that's what we all can do. And it's created this wonderful space where I think there's just so many women platforming each other and giving each other the chance to have a conversation, because the end goal is that the sport that we love grows, and we get to go to more events like the grand final where we're like wowed and feel so seen and represented. And yeah, I think it's such a lovely thing. So I think we find it funny because obviously we talk about on our podcast something will happen and then we'll round off with what we've said and we'll be like, but we have no idea what we're talking about. So please podcast if you want a proper expert analysis on what just happened in that game. But I think it's the thing, everyone has a different perspective on things, and I think it's fun to kind of have that silly roundup, because we all get to have our little, what's it called, your 2 pence, your 50 pence, I don't know what the word is. You get to put your opinion in.
I couldn't agree more. And we joke all the time that obviously we're no experts, and we meet people and we meet coaches. I was literally just before here, I was chatting away to Nicole Richardson, Richo, who is one of the Australian Diamonds head coaches, and it just makes you laugh. And I'm sitting here with my level 2 coaching qualification. We always say the same thing, like me and Kris, we're like, our opinion can't be wrong. So in reality, whatever you're saying, if it's your opinion, it can't be wrong. And I think that's a really important and powerful message to anyone who wants to sort of sit there and talk or analyse, and having the confidence to help have your voice heard, that will only do better for the sport and get visibility on the sport. So I agree.
Rosie says that. I always say, I'll say something and I'll go, but I don't know, I might be wrong. And she was like, it's an opinion. She was like,
yeah,
can't be wrong. She was like, you may say something a bit wild, which is like, but we can all disagree with you. And I was like, it is, I think especially as women, you're kind of taught that your opinion, you should kind of caveat it with but what do I know? Or like something like that. And I think, oh no, we're all watching the same game. And even if you don't have the full tactical knowledge or like the in-depth, you can still say what you think. And if anything, it'll spark a conversation where you can learn. And I think that's one of the great things. I think about this podcast that we've been doing, and I think about when I like say something and then Rosie will go, well, this is why that happened. And I'm like, I'll look out for that. And you then realize that you wouldn't know if you didn't talk about it. And then the next time I watch it, I'll be watching it like when I'm watching the preliminary final or something, and I'll see what just happened. And I'm like, oh, right, yeah, that's what she said. And I think it makes you watch sport in a different way. Obviously, you guys are almost always at like the media side, aren't you? So you've really got like that front seat action view. And do you find that since you've been doing your podcast and talking about it more, that you have that like almost different perspective on what you're seeing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's whether it's what we're seeing or even just who we're speaking to or having these conversations. For me, I've always been a bit of a researcher. So if I'm going to interview someone or watch a game, I need to know everything. And I will literally sit on YouTube videos, and I just feel like if you can absorb that information, then it's really powerful. But I also love that just normal lens of being just a fan. What's other people seeing? Like the conversations that I have where there was one game, a Super League game, where I took just my friend who'd never been to a Super League match before along with me, and I kind of sat and I was watching it through her eyes. Like she's like, oh, what is that? Or why are they doing that? Or oh, that player's good. And I'm thinking, yeah, she's in England Rose. Like, of course she's good. She's the best in the country. And I love that. And I think sometimes it's sort of which hat you're wearing. I've been to matches this season where I haven't been recording and interviewing because I think it can be really distracting when you're focused on the job you're there to do. And we've said it 1,000 times this season. We've just felt so privileged to be able to produce content, meet players, like interview guests, and just really kind of bring it into people's living rooms, into people's bedrooms, and start conversations with no real idea of where they might lead, no idea of what you're doing. It's a real ripple effect, and it's just felt really powerful. And I think we've been so lucky. And I think like long may that continue, because this is just the start, and it's people like you and just the fan base generally that could show where this could lead. It's a really evolving sport, and I think women's sport generally is on a huge trajectory. I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, like you said about taking your friend, I think one of the like wonderful things, I think the netball has this really bad reputation for being like a gentle or like not a passionate sport. And then you take someone who's never been before and you get to watch them like kind of like, like
blown away.
Fast. And you're like, it's fast. And like, oh, I didn't realize netball was so fast. And I think when you're young, like everyone plays netball at school. And I can remember last time I played before I rejoined I was like 15. And I think back to the rules that I was taught, and it's completely different. It's not the same. And I had in my head, I remember when I first went back and people were like pushing up against me, and it was so much more contacty than I remembered. And I remember being like, should the whistle be blown? And then now you're like, oh God, no, that is not. The netball that you learn at school is not the netball of the real world. So it's so great when you take someone whose last experience is that netball that you knew, and then you watch them watch Fumi Fidoji for the first time, and you just see them like they're wowed, and you're like, yeah, this is it. This is the real thing. And I took my girlfriend with me to the grand final at the weekend, well, last weekend, whatever it was, and she's been to a couple of netball games before, but actually she brought me tickets to the grand final 3 years ago, and in the end she couldn't go, so I took Rosie, and then the year after I bought the tickets and she couldn't go, so this year she finally got to go to the grand final. And she's only maybe watched 2 or 3 netball games before. And this is obviously the peak, right? The grand final, it's the best of the best going at it. And I've never seen someone more animated in my life. She was like hooked. And I think it's so exciting as well to know that you've like introduced the sport to somebody, and now she's talking about it. I've seen her talking about it to people and being like, oh, we saw the grand final the weekend. She's like, that was amazing. Like, it was Manchester Thunder. And she knows little snippets that I know that she will then have a conversation with, and it might mean that someone brings it up with their family and says like, oh, have you watched the Netball Super League? And that's literally just how it spreads. And I think we've got this amazing ability to be part of that chain reaction, and it kind of makes you feel a little, I'm sure you guys feel it, kind of like proud. You're like, oh, it's my sport and I'm part of the growth, and that's amazing. And you know, no one's paying us to do this. We're doing it because we genuinely love it and we want to see it get bigger. And I think even if people disagree with me, they're still talking about it.
100%. And I think the final really did that so well, didn't it? It obviously got thousands of people in that stadium, and so many hadn't been before or hadn't seen it, and then they saw the best of the best. It was an absolutely fantastic day. And then we did interviews and we saw you there, and some of those interviews have had like 200,000 views, and you think Jesus, this is the world that we're in now. And I think it is a huge ripple effect, and I can't wait to see where it leads. That the final, I mean, just before we finished the final, oh my God, what a day. It was incredible, wasn't it?
I felt like I was on an adrenaline high the whole day. I felt from like the beginning, from the start to the end, it was just like go, 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 go. And obviously I didn't think I saw you guys till the very end. I think that's when, because you guys were venue for a lot of it, or in the media seats, and I was at the beginning, so I was doing the Q&A with Claire, first name Claire, last name Todd Netball, and I was doing the NSL awards, and we had so many like last minute moments with that I felt like we were like gearing ourselves up and kind of like ready to go. And by the time that had all finished, it was time for the whistle, and I was like, oh God, like running, because I wanted to catch that first 5 minutes. And I'm so glad that I actually got to my seat in time for the pre-show bit with the entrances, because I was crying. I was like, why am I so emotional? I'm not playing the game. I think it just felt like, you know, we've been for the past few years, and every year it gets better and it gets better. And then when they came out and the music and all of it, I was just like, oh, this is what, you know, our sport has always deserved, and we've craved it. And now it's the number of people who've come together to make that moment happen. And there have been so many of us just sat in that crowd, just kind of like I kind of didn't want the moment to end. I kind of wanted it to just last a little bit longer. I don't know. How did you feel kind of similar?
Oh, we loved it. Yeah, definitely. It was creating some magic. And the biggest success for me, I think, obviously, aside from the world-class netball, was just how much they did bring those fans along. Like how much you felt proud, you felt a part of it. And yet we are just sat in the seats doing absolutely nothing. And that's it. I think it's hard to achieve, isn't it? It's taken time, and I think I'm so excited for what's next, because I was like you, I was kind of left wanting more, but also thinking, how could you ever top this? Because it was absolutely brilliant, and I just can't wait for what's to come.
I think what's great about it as well is that they've tuned into things that aren't, and you see this a lot with women's sport. I've seen it when I've been going to, I know nothing about rugby, but my friends are rugby fans, so I'll go to a few women's rugby games, and like you see it with the women's football, but netball have really done it where they've tuned into like trends that are happening or artists that are interesting that are like sport adjacent. They've got something in common, and that is kind of their support for women or their love of women on the rise or their words. Like the poet, I think she's called Georgie Jones, I think, and I followed her for so long. She does these wonderful poems about women in bathrooms on nights out and the words that they share and things like that. I remember, sat on my own in bed on a scroll hole crying about this poem about inviting women to your wedding that, gave you a tampon when you're in your hour of need. And then when I saw the NSL share that video of her doing her poetry, I was like, oh, this is amazing, because this is a woman. This is, a woman who writes beautiful words. And as soon as I saw her face, I was like, this poem's going to be great. And I think those kind of things that they brought in were like the finishing touches that I never would have thought of to bring in. And yet again, adding to the tears. Just felt as I got a wreck the whole weekend, I think.
I think it did just zap every bit of your emotion, didn't it? I was exhausted for about 3 days after. Ellie, thank you so much for your time. I feel like we could literally chat netball all day long, and that should actually become our full-time jobs. We're so grateful for all the work you're doing in netball, and I'm speaking on behalf of the powers that be, because everyone deserves, or the sport deserves, this level of interaction. So thank you for the part you're playing. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Oh, welcome back, Kris. I know you weren't in that interview. How lovely and chatty and friendly.
Why am I always missing out on these interviews? I think you just do them in secret now.
I just time it so I know you're not available. I look at your schedule and then think, right, let's get that one booked in for then.
But she's so lovely, isn't she? We've met her a few times now. She's great.
I just really want to shout out to all the people that are out there advocating for netball, promoting netball, putting it in people's hands through their phone. There's so much work going on behind the scenes. And I know she also congratulated us on doing the same thing, but it's people giving up their time, they're volunteers, and what she's doing for netball and for sport and women's sport is excellent. So keep up the brilliant work, and thank you for your time today. Let's move on to our next guest. We were very fortunate to have a catch up, and this was both of us. Great news.
It was.
Talking to Niamh McCall. Welcome, Niamh. We're joined by one of the brightest stars in British netball, and someone who's become an absolute favourite this season for all the fans. She became the first player born in the 2000s to receive a senior cap for Scotland, represented her country at the Commonwealth Games while still just a teenager, starred at the World Youth Cup, and this season's been nothing short of sensational for the LexisNexis Dragons, earning her Player of the Season and helping transform the club from the bottom of the table to genuine contenders. She's exciting to watch, fearless on court, and has so much of her story left still to write. Welcome to the best netball podcast ever, Niamh McCall.
That was really nice. Thank you.
How are you,
Well
Niamh?
done, Carla.
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you. It's really nice to be here.
So how does it feel to be a celebrity then?
Oh, I don't think I'd class myself like that at all. But to be fair, since coming home, there's been a couple of, I went to the dentist the other day and she was like, how's the netball going? Which I think I wasn't expecting. But no, it's it's great to have more eyes on netball and more people talking about it for sure.
I'm going to start by saying, for me, you genuinely made the NSL season better this year. I found myself watching Dragons, and a lot of that because of you. Did it feel different this season? I feel like you've made a real impact, both yourself and the team in the league. But has it felt different for you this season?
Well, it's hard to say if it's different. The year before I didn't get a contract, but obviously 6 years previously, like I did have the contract, but it was in the 1 point time. So obviously with the 2 point shot, it feels different. But I think I've said it before, like that's very much my game. I love long range shots. So to be able to showcase that and for it to benefit the team as much as it did, it's been great.
How many hours a week do you spend practicing those 2-pointers? I'm genuinely intrigued.
I don't know. I think when I was younger, I practiced a lot more because I think when you're taught when you're younger, like 200 shots a day, 5 times a week. But now as you
Wow.
get older and you balance it with work,
What?
yeah, it is a lot. It's built the shoulders for sure. Balancing it with work and then training, just as like any time in breaks, we're training. If we've just done a conditioning block, like all those shooters go straight to the post because I think that's where you get the most gains.
Do you ever do it in your sleep, mimic the action of shooting?
Yeah, I saw Rolene did that. I did think, I must try that. That must be fun. See if I can be as accurate as she can.
So you've been playing with the seasons, absolutely incredible achievement, especially in your first year with the Dragons. We understand that it is a team sport, but how does it feel like with your personal recognition that you've received this season?
To be honest, I wasn't expecting it. When Carly brought me into the squad, she very much told me that 2 point times would be my jam. When I got that recognition, I just thought I was doing my job, to be honest. But any recognition is amazing and I'm really grateful for it. And it's nice sometimes to be recognised for that. But in my opinion, it could have gone to any one of those girls. Very grateful for it.
Was there a moment this season when you actually said to yourself, wow, we're actually really good?
Do you know what? I think we knew it from the start, like we could be really cool. Like bringing Wales and Scotland together, well obviously there's girls out with, but I thought that could be interesting. That second game against Pulse, when we drew, I think people genuinely started to take us seriously, which I think we talked about a lot about changing the narrative around Dragons and how people view us, and I think we definitely did that this year. But our expectations within the group about winning games, we went into every game thinking we could win it, and that's the belief we brought this season has been phenomenal. So for people to go, this is going to be an interesting game, even if it's a top 4 team, that's a great achievement.
We were all believing you could win it as well. You have literally been firm favourite of so many fans, haven't they, Carla? We've heard your name so much when we've been doing our Akuma Arena tour.
Yeah, what's been really impressive is that it started obviously from the Super Cup in the beginning, and I think to keep that momentum, that consistency speaks volumes, because it's one thing to have a great game and have a great standout player, but to keep that consistency across a whole season and to achieve the finishing position you finished, I think is excellent.
Yeah, it's great, but we were all kicking ourselves that we could have gotten top 4. So I think it's great benchmark, but like moving forward, Dragons are definitely expecting to be top 4 for sure.
They definitely will be, no doubt.
So let's have a chat about the Scottish Thistles. Obviously, there's the programme, I'm sure, is about to get into full swing, and we're all very, very excited about the Commonwealth Games on home Scottish territory. What does it look like for a normal week in the camp and in the programme? How does it work?
It's very full on, to be fair. Still getting into the swing of things this week, but usually, so Monday's off because we would have camp. But Tuesday night we've got conditioning for an hour with our S&C coach. Wednesday morning we're in the gym at 6:30 in the morning for like an hour and a half before work. Thursday we're in for a 2-hour court session. Friday morning we're up in the gym early again, 7 a.m. or 6:30 depending if people have got work, and straight into 2 full days of camp. Usually run between like 9:30 and 5 each day.
That is an early start in the gym. Do you have a sequence that you have to complete, like a programme while you're in there?
Yeah, we do. We're given one by our S&C coach, but like again, people have work, so if you can't make it, they're really flexible, but we try and train together as much as possible.
So when you first joined the senior programme in this Scottish Thistles environment, what surprised you most? What felt like the biggest step up or change for you?
Because I was so young, like I got in when I was 15, 16, I think the maturity level of because of the girls were, they would go to work and I would go to like high school. So just to mature very, very quickly, but like the pace of the game how people throw and catch a ball, I think, is a lot faster and harder. So that had to progress for me very, very quickly. And then just the standards around what time you arrive, when you leave, just all of that kind of professionalism was a big change compared to club.
I want to sort of go back in time a little bit. So going back to a 16-year-old you were the first player born in the 2000s to basically get that senior Scotland netball cap. What does that mean to you? How proud were you?
To be fair, I think when I got the phone call, I wasn't expecting to get into the squad. So I think I was eating a pack of crisps on my bed thinking, yep, that's fine. I'm not getting in. And as soon as I got told, I put the crisps in the bin and went for a run.
Did you?
Yes, absolutely not. But I think I didn't quite grasp how impressive that moment was. But to walk out in a Scotland dress and for my family to be there was immense and something I'm going to cherish forever. I think my second cap, my gran was there with a wee Scotland flag over her knee. She has dementia, she has dementia, so she was cheering on the wrong team, but it's not the point. She was there. She was supporting me. But yeah, it's definitely memories that I'll cherish forever.
Amazing. What did your friends make of it all? Were they all supportive? Because obviously you would have been training so much, so you wouldn't have had much time for social life.
Luckily, my high school were a massive big netball team, so we were actually quite good. So they completely understood around like the training. But at that time, like Scotland only trained once a week, like on a Thursday for 3 hours. So realistically, there wasn't that much time pressure. But now I think when I got my first like Sirens contract, like we trained so much more. And I think the friends I had at uni weren't like the sport type friends. They were more just like uni type friends. So that understanding didn't quite get there. It's like, oh, Niamh, do you want to come out? I said, no, sorry, I've got training. And that was very much my line. And they were like, oh, can you not just skip training? I said, no, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. But like now I think we're all in the same boat, and to be able to lean on each other is so much easier and better than it was previously.
Who's your netball bestie?
Oh, in Scotland? Oh, I don't think I have one. I think, do you know what? I think I'm really close to everyone. I think Emily Nicol, like Iona, Hannah Layton, Emma Love, Emma Barry. Like I think there's a big, or Hannah Grant. Like oh my God, I feel if I don't mention some people, they're going to get annoyed. But I think we're so collectively a great unit that I wouldn't say we have like besties apart from Emma Love and Baz. They're like a duo that never leave each other's sides, but everyone knows that, so it's fine.
How does it feel and how does it kind of work in terms of that friendship and that bond you have with the Scottish Thistles, and yet the next week, like previously, obviously when the NSL was playing, you're on court against them? How does that feel?
Do you know what? I think we cheer each on individually. Obviously, we're going in to win, but like if we were playing Forest, I want Iona and Hannah to play really well because it's only going to benefit Scotland. I don't think it changes much. It's so hard to answer, but I think you just want them to play well, and then obviously you want to come out on top, and then you give each other. I think Iona and I had a hug before the game, and then we didn't speak after the game because it was such a close game. But yeah, everyone's on the same boat and the same mindset that we're there to win. Hope you play well, but I hope you lose. Type 5.
In 2019, obviously, you played the Netball World Cup in Liverpool. So can you tell us, what do you remember from that time? What really stands out?
Oh, I remember the crowds and the home crowd. Well, it wasn't even a home crowd, this is England, but I think there was such a buzz around Liverpool. I think we would walk to Tesco to go and get like snacks for a hotel and just get stopped left, right and centre. I think I was rooming with Emma Barry at the time. That's when she became a sensation, being so young. And we decided that today I'm not walking with Emma, I need some time alone. So I please don't get stopped today. But I think just the buzz around netball was phenomenal. And I think we were sleeping and we'd get woken up at 6 a.m. from the banging of the drums for people just so excited about it. So for this year to be actually on a home crowd in the biggest venue in Scotland, I think is unreal.
I can't even imagine what that would feel like. It's crazy.
What's the biggest ambition you still feel you have left in the game?
Well, I'm a dreamer, but I'm a realistic dreamer. I think Kath is a dreamer that she's putting ideas in my head that are great to think about. I think I would love to go to another Commonwealth Games. I think I've got so much more to give, to be fair, unless my knees give out. A couple more Commonwealth Games, World Cups, obviously. Club-wise, love to go overseas, but you never know with these things. So a girl can dream.
Who would you say keeps your changing room like full of energy and comedy? Is there any standout player?
Oh, I think either Bethan Goodwin's the DJ, so she brings the vibes to that area. Baz, she's hilarious. And then the young ones always just have so much energy. I think everyone deals with game day differently and they just have no fear and want to go out and crack, like have a good game. So definitely like the young ones like Lexi Giles. Yeah, full of energy they are.
Can we just make a note there that you're calling them the young ones? So I'm not sure what that makes me and Kris.
I actually have no words for that.
No, I'm old now. It's not good.
Who is the most competitive person you've ever played with? I love this. It's like, not who do you sort of dread coming up against, but who do you have to literally give your best gameplay to?
Who's on my team or against?
Oh, against.
Oh. I think the best player I've ever played against would probably be like Joe West and Courtney Bruce. But then Karen Berger was so hard to play against too. So I think Southern Hemisphere, extremely hard. I think the most competitive person on our team has to be Emily Nicol. I've never met a more driven person ever. So I think she riles up the team because I think she thinks we can win everything and everything.
Does she shout at you all?
I wouldn't say shout. It's more of how do I describe it? Just a passionate drive that she would enforce in us, I think.
I think it's time for our quick fire round. So for the first answer that comes into your head, are you ready?
Yeah.
Best arena you've ever played in?
Birmingham 2022.
Toughest opponent?
Courtney Bruce.
The funniest teammate?
Emma Bay.
Your favourite training drill? Is there such a thing?
No, there's not. It's just match play.
Your least favourite fitness test?
The death test.
I think everyone answers that so far, haven't they, Kris?
Mm-hmm.
Tea or coffee?
Tea.
Music before a game or nice quiet silence?
Oh, music before a game.
The best defender that's ever marked you?
Oh, Karen Berger.
The best piece of advice you had from your mum or dad?
Just enjoy the game. What will be, will be.
One word that describes the season that Dragons had this year?
Unreal.
Love that. And finally...
Iconic, I'd have said.
Oh, that's a great... I should have used that.
And finally, finish this sentence. The best is still to come because...
Oh, is this from a Scotland perspective or a Dragons perspective?
However you choose to answer. No right or wrong here.
The best is yet to come because netball is growing and we're getting so much bigger and better and people are starting to watch us and it's exciting.
That's brilliant. Love that.
Yay! I want to say well done on your 50 caps plus. Incredible. More to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully. It's taken so long to get there.
Well, we will be there in Glasgow at the Commonwealth Games, literally cheering you on. And we are so excited to see what's to come for you and grateful for what you've given us so far in the NSL this year. Thank you so much, Niamh.
No, thank you very much for having me.
Please give us a wave if you see us.
I will do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. She is a little superstar. Well, not that little.
Well, yeah, not compared to us.
Yeah, we could say that about everybody, couldn't we? Literally.
I still just can't believe what age she was playing on the professional court. It's insane. And yeah, she was so lovely. We've met her quite a few times on courtside, haven't we, after the games? Always really willing to chat to us.
Yeah.
So we were really, really pleased to actually get a bit of time to speak to her. And that conversation carried on well after the record button was stopped. So we had a really good chat with her.
One of the things I have to say is we have chatted to so many amazing legends as far as I'm concerned. How lucky are we? We honestly, we've got the best job.
So that's both our guests today that will be in Glasgow, one playing, one recording and watching. I think we're going to be so busy in Glasgow because everyone I seem to speak to at the moment will be like, oh, we'll see you at the Commonwealth Games. How are we going to fit all of this in, Kris?
I think we're probably overcommitting ourselves a little bit because everybody I speak to, I'm like, yeah, we'll meet up. And I think you're doing the same.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm really not sure how we're going to approach
turn our
this.
phones off.
Have you listened to the latest Here If You Need? We got a little shout out.
We did, although we did also already shout out our friends at Here If You Need back, didn't we, on our grand final podcast?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, but it's always nice. Podcasts supporting each other. Love it.
Yeah, 100%. And it goes back to the earlier comment that we made after the interview with Ali, who we obviously give some real credit in terms of the exposure for netball and the platform for netball. So well done to everybody out there doing it. And thank you for our shout out, friends Here If You Need.
It makes my travelling to work journeys so much better now that there's all these netball podcasts. So I feel like I'm constantly getting new knowledge in. Listening to different guests, it's epic. It's great.
Certainly makes life busy. We're netballed out. I think we've just about got time for one listener's message. We've had so many these last few weeks. I think more than ever before. We had so many off the back of our grand final episode, where I think obviously there were so many people there, so many people watching, that everyone was just so invested. So thank you all for sending in your lovely comments, lovely messages. I'm just going to pick one and read it out because I really liked this one. It's from Sarah.
I'm literally going to stop you right there before
What's
you
wrong?
even dare read that message out. You have not allowed the amazing Pete or Ed, who we know actually does all the work, to do the jingle.
Sorry.
Can we not fail at the first hurdle? Listeners' messages.
This is from Sarah in Newcastle, who said, I want to write in because my daughter, who is 11 years old, has been absolutely driving me crazy to go and join a netball club, because I play your podcast every week and she's been listening and now she'd like to play netball. I feel like we've inspired this little girl to go and join a club, and that makes me super proud. So thank you for taking the time to send us that, Sarah. You've literally made my day.
Did she send that to both of us or just to me?
It just came in the inbox. It wasn't clear who it was in reference to, but
okay.
She's clearly listening to the podcast in the back of the car whilst her mum is playing us. That's great news, right?
I just feel the youngsters sort of resonate with me, that's all.
As a grandma figure.
No, it's like a bestie.
You keep believing that. But thank you to everybody who sends in.
Right, I think we better call it a day then.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for listening. It's been a great show, busy as always.
Let's give a shout out to our amazing sponsors, akumasports.com.
Thank you to Akuma, who make sportswear, kit, apparel, team gear, anything you need. Go and have a look at their website, akumasports.com. We can't recommend them highly enough.
We can't. As always, and I've noticed other podcasters doing this now, make sure you subscribed to our pod, please. It helps us keep creating this, I want to say amazing content. Maybe I'll just leave it as average content.
Or just content.
We do appreciate every single listener, and obviously we do it for all the grassroots players out there. We try and give you a voice where we're able. So thank you. And thank you for keep coming and saying hello to us as well. It honestly means the absolute world. You can contact us on
TikTok.
Yes.
People won't know what that means anymore.
They
Facebook,
do.
Instagram, or you can email us at
The Best Netball Podcast ever
at gmail.com. Now, seriously, Kris, how is anyone ever going to email us when they can't make head nor tail of your terrible
It's not difficult.
singing?
It's not difficult. Do you know what I've realised I might need, which we might have to invest in? You know how, like, pop stars, they have the auto-tuners?
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
It
a
would
little
probably
tweak
help.
here and there.
It would probably help. Yeah, maybe just get some AI involved in the production of this podcast.
You are not replacing me with a robot yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Speak soon.
Thanks for listening. Bye.